welcome to the latest Almanac video. Firstly, I'd like to thank you for all your continued support and kind words and also interaction with us. It's been very much appreciated. This week we're going to be discussing the Netgenium audio gateway, a great bit of kit, and I'm sort of setting up with a DAW recorder and a IP speaker. Before we go into that though, we have some good giveaways to be done, eagerly awaited. I have the Google Home Mini and also the CTEC panel, the accessible toilet alarm that was donated by CTEC. Thank you very much. So let's get away now. The Google Home Mini has been won by Martin Johnson. Please get in touch. And the CTEC equipment, Justin Tripp. Congratulations you two. I tell you what, as I'm using this DAW goodie bag, I'll give this away as well. Luke Tasker, I'm going to give that and send it to you. So please, these three, please get in touch so we can get these sent out to you. Thank you very much for continued support. So I'm just going to get it set up and then we'll have a look at this together. Thank you very much. So just to show you the setup configuration we have here. So here we have the Netgenium audio gateway, the AUG3201-IP. That's the audio gateway. That is connected to a switch, and also connected to that switch I have a DAW NVR. And that DAW NVR is connected to the switch and also connected to the audio gateway via the RCA out, and that goes into the line in on the audio gateway. Also connected to that switch I have a Netgenium speaker. They do come in many shapes and forms. I'm currently using the external cone just for reference for today, just to show you how I have got the kit set up. So I'm just going to get it set up on the PC to show you the software and also show you broadcasting through the audio in 2 seconds. Okay, so first and foremost, the first thing that we're going to need to do is address my audio gateway and also the speaker or speakers in my range to be in the network range of the devices that you're going to be connecting to. So I'm just going to log into the audio gateway here. I have previously changed the IP address, but I'll show you how to do that now, so for reference. So I'm logging in. So what you do need to do, first of all, you go to the Home tab. This gives us the software version, the serial number, the build date, and all the information regarding the device that we're connecting to. So if you need to do any of that, or the MAC address, anything else, it's all on that tab there for you. First thing I'd recommend you do is change your network tab. Just go into setup the network. There's a device name there. Obviously you can change that to suit the location where it's fitted, and also set the IP address, network, and the default gateway and network mask. Obviously the speakers and the gateway need to be in the same network to the functionality. And what you need to do from then is your audio gateway. So the way we set this up is traditionally when you're using a amplifier and speakers connected to a recorder for a monitoring solution, for instance, is you'd have a cable speaker back to a amplifier. An amplifier then would be wired directly back to your recorder or video recording device. So this is slightly different. Obviously it all works over the IP network, so it converts an analog signal to IP, so it gives the ability to send it all over the IP infrastructure that you have in place. It's great for new installations. And even legacy installations, there's no need to run additional cabling for speakers for broadcasting, for out of hours monitoring, or for use or any other use. So the gateway is what we're going to be using. So you need to set the audio in. We're using the line in, which I showed you earlier on, which is the line in the device itself. That is the audio broadcast coming from the recorder itself into the IP gateway. That is where the broadcast comes from. The next thing we need to do is go into utilities and create a group. In that group, you need to create your own group. Once you set that up, I've created one called the Almanac for today's video. If I click edit, as you can see, I can go in there. There's my multicast IP address and also my multicast UDP port. They're just generic ports. If you are going to have multiples of speakers set up, you may need to adjust them slightly, but they're just the default ports that we're going to be using for today, and it works really, really well. And to add IP address of your speakers, what you need to do is, again, you need to address your speakers into the range. So this is the speaker I have here, which is set to 20.26. Exactly the same tab on layout as you can see as the gateway. Go into setup, go into network, and change the address to suit. And other than that, there's not really much more you need to do when you're using this kind of setup. They can be used standalone, and you can broadcast .wav files that are independent on SD cards, on event. They've got I/O modules and everything else to go along with it. But for today's setup, we're just going to be using it as just a for alarm receiving center or broadcasting from a mobile phone, and that's the way it's going to be using it today. So as you can see, I have the IP address 20.26. So if I had multiple addresses, all I would need to do is click into this box, enter and tab multiple IP addresses in. As you can see, I don't have any more speakers, I only had the one connected, but if I did, I could add them to my group. That would be my group set up, ready to go. Once I've done that, I would apply the settings, but I already got it there, so I'm not going to leave that. Again, if I was using the .wav files or any of the files, audio files directly on the unit itself, because like I said, it does have alarm inputs and relay modules on there, so it can do, if it sees an I/O module, PIR or whatever, activate it and then play a .wav file automatically over the network for you. The way we're setting it up is like standalone, as you would with the monitoring station. So once I've done that, I need to go to my Vox settings, and in here is where you set up what happens when it hears a broadcast. So how I've got it set up is the operation. So I can have it disabled, play an audio file, that's the file I showed you earlier, the .wav files. Play an audio tone if I need tones enabled on there. Send a generic event, and also send a mix alarm. These units do have the ability to connect to iMix. If you go into the utilities tab, into iMix, you do have the ability to give the unit an S number, so you can link these direct to monitoring station, so great for monitoring solutions. So go back to the Vox tab here, I got to set the audio into a group, and obviously the group I named earlier on called the Almanac, and a priority of 5, and that is where you do, and also that's where you control your audio settings. I'll cover that in a second. So one of the things that we do come across is people turn the volume up extremely loud on the speakers, and the volume coming in is really, really low, and what happens is it causes the speakers to power cycle all the time. It's no good. So set up with these is quite important. It needs to be set up correctly, otherwise you're going to get speakers rebooting, and nobody wants that to be happening. The Vox dwell time this year is 3 seconds, that's the default. What that happens is, once you start the broadcast to the device, once it sees a 3-second silence, it then will cut off the audio broadcast. So it's designed to, once you broadcast a message, if it's a generic message or the monitoring station connects, once it sees 3 seconds of silence, it will then disconnect and stop broadcasting audio for you. So this Vox trigger level here, as you can see, this is a little slider bar. What you can, these green bars here are residual, basically some kind of voltage over the cables, with traditional monitoring solutions with arcs and using amplifiers. You've heard the crackle and popping over the speakers when they're live. That is what that would be in this instance. So what you do is you set the threshold to above, and what happens is once the volume goes above that threshold you've set, that's when it starts broadcasting. So once you make a connection with your arc, your mobile phone, your microphone, however way you have it set up, that is how it would start working. So, and the trigger status, as you can see, that's idle at the moment. There's nothing connected to it, so I'm not going to connect. So what I do have here, these are said really easy to set up. That is basically it when the connections are. You do have the ability to have these as balanced and unbalanced, depending on your device. You can set that up. It's all done by the cable in the front of the device itself. All the Netgenium products come out of the box. I have a default IP address of 10.100.1.172, and the default username and password. I won't tell you that. You can read your documentation. But if you do need any help, Netgenium guys are really helpful. So what I'm going to do now is just to show you, I have my smartphone here. As you can see, I've connected to the site, which is the recorder I showed you earlier on. What I'm going to do is now connect and broadcast audio over that. So what I'm going to do, look, is connect that site. I'm just going to hit the microphone button. It's going to open the site up for me. I'm now just going to open the audio broadcast channel. Give me a second. As you can hear now, I'm broadcasting over that Netgenium speaker. If I close that channel, I can also see here the volume is increased above that rate, and the trigger status is now active instead of being idle. It's now broadcasting audio, as you can see there's audio being physically broadcast. If I disconnect that now, give it a few seconds, I'll go from active to idle. As you can see, the volume drop below that threshold I set is now gone to idle mode. Great, real simple, really easy. Another thing that we do come across when using these devices is people have these connected to high PoE, switches with like increased distances, 250 meters, 800 meters, such as the Dower EPW devices. What I wouldn't recommend is using them devices in multiples in this application with these devices, purely because some of these devices have VLANs inside them. Once they are connected together to give them greater distance, that can cause you network problems. I wouldn't recommend using EPoE or high range switches. If you are going to use that kind of thing, please start using fiber. It'll give you just better results all round. As you can see, that was really easy, really simple to connect up. and it isn't much more to it. Like I said, we do have the ability to connect these to IMIX. They are really, really functional. You have multiples of, so if you have a PTZ, a camera on a post, you need to add some audio on there, this is a solution for you. And the guys are readily available, they'll help you out. So with us, the team at Oprema, we have these readily available, we can quote this for you. One thing to bear in mind as well, through the rest of August, we do have some special offers with Netgenium. You do need to speak to your BDM or our sales team. They'll tell you what offers are readily available to you. They've got some cracking offers on at the moment, and there's also some surprises in the pipeline that they've got, which will be a real good solution for loads of you guys. Again, thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for your support. Netgenium product works wonders. Real easy, simple solution. Connecting this to your recorder for out of hours monitoring via a monitor station, or even self monitoring via your mobile phone, like I just showed you. It's that simple to set up. All you do, set up your devices in the same range, set up your speakers into groups. Turn that groups on. Set up your audio input by taking your microphone in or line out, and away you go. There's not much more to it. Thank you very much for your time again. See you again next time.